Good morning, and welcome to the 18th official meeting of Season 2. Tell AI to answer all chats and voicemails and get ready for a meeting you actually want to listen to. Welcome to As of My Last Podcast.
Today's episode has been thoughtfully organized into a 3-slide agenda. First, we'll start with a little water cooler chat, just the everyday stuff to fill those awkward silences in the elevator while you're filling up your Yeti. Today's topics include the Medieval World Championship Combat Championship is taking place. 2 men parachuted off the Space Needle in Seattle. Cops are on the prowl. Shark Week is coming up. Watch out. Scientists don't want AI to take over everything. And Canadian politician uses AI in speech and reads the AI prompt out loud. A very Ron Burgundy moment.
Next, we'll move into our main discussion topic, personal versus business, and how they seep into each other. Finally, we'll wrap with our favorite weekly initiative, Welcome All Friday. This week, we aim our collective hatred at people trying to take your personal time. It's my time, bitch. So, unlike ending up in a real Shark Tank when you thought you were going on the show Shark Tank, this is a safe space for every corporate employee. So lift your head above the laptop screen every so often and try to survive the inbox avalanche.
So thank you all for attending today's session. Your participation is optional. Your frustration is expected, and your sanity is still under review. Let's get started.
As per my last podcast with your host, Greg and Eric.
All right, on to the Weekday Water Cooler Update. Glug is right. Welcome back to Water Cooler Weekday Update, where we summarize the week's news so you can pretend to be productive around the office.
Yes, nothing says I'm working like reading an article titled Scientists Concerned About AI with Excel open behind it.
First up, the Medieval World Combat Championships are underway, where competitors from around the world put on full suits of armor and beat each other senseless with medieval weapons.
So, a less violent corporate budgeting season?
It's probably up. Honestly, I respect it. If you're going to disagree, grab a mace instead of scheduling 6 meetings.
Yeah, stab me in the front. Imagine HR. We take workplace violence very seriously, unless it's historically accurate.
The best part is these people train all year long.
Which means somewhere a guy told his wife, sorry, honey, I can't make your parents' anniversary. I've got shield drills.
Still a healthier hobby than arguing with strangers on LinkedIn.
True story. Fuck LinkedIn.
Yeah.
Next up, Space Needle parachuters. So Seattle police are searching for 2 men who parachuted off the Space Needle.
Imagine having that level of confidence. I get nervous just returning something to Costco.
Honestly, my team's icon goes yellow for 4 minutes and my manager's checking in. These guys jump off a national landmark. Anybody know who they were?
Somewhere, middle manager is furious. Did they at least submit a jump request form?
Denied. Need more stakeholders. Parachute not working.
Oh, man. Maybe deep down they were hoping that it wouldn't work because they just don't want to go back to the office.
True.
So this week is Shark Week returns.
Which means millions of people will spend 7 days terrified of an animal they'll probably never see.
Which I am one of those people that will equally be scared. You ever swim at a pool in the middle of the night and you're thinking, there might be a shark in here. But meanwhile, nobody's afraid of a reply all.
Statistically, you're way more likely to get injured by your office chair than a shark.
Or die waiting for IT to reset your password.
Yeah, for real. Watch out for those lumbar muscles. Sharks have never scheduled a meeting that could have been an email.
Exactly. If anything, we're the sharks.
True story.
Yep.
Scientists, next up, scientists don't want AI doing everything. So scientists are saying there are parts of science they don't want AI to take over because making discoveries is part of the fun.
I get it. Finding the cure for cancer, keep humans involved.
Yeah. Updating slide numbers on a PowerPoint, release the robots.
Scientists are protecting curiosity. Office workers are trying to protect lunch breaks.
Yeah, if AI wants to do my annual compliance training, I'll personally write the recommendation letter.
Same here. Please do it. This AI has demonstrated outstanding leadership in clicking next.
It never looks away.
Never looks away. Finally, a Canadian politician accidentally read the ChatGPT prompt during a speech about the importance of public trust.
Dude, you had one job.
Imagine opening with, please rewrite this speech to sound authentic and trustworthy.
It's like a magician starting with, there's a rabbit in my hat.
Switch it up. We've all been there, though.
Yeah, or left a comment in the document. Make sure Greg doesn't sound so angry.
Story of my life.
AI is becoming so common, people forget to hide the evidence. Soon politicians are going to end speeches with, would you like me to make this shorter, funnier, or more professional?
It's come to that.
Seriously.
So that's your Water Cooler Weekday update.
Medieval sword fights, people jumping off skyscrapers, Shark Week, scientists fighting AI, and politicians accidentally exposing AI.
Somehow still less chaotic than Monday morning at the office.
For real. We'll see you next week, assuming AI doesn't host the segment for us.
If it does, at least it'll stay on the schedule. Bye, everyone. On to the main topic. Du-du-du-du.
Boom. Mic drop.
Today's topic, blending personal and work life. Man, is that smushed together like a smashed peanut butter jelly sandwich.
Seriously, like an Uncrustable you left at the bottom of your backpack.
You remember many years ago, like when BlackBerry was still kind of kicking. I don't know if you ever had this weird feeling like you're like overly eager to get a BlackBerry for the office so that you could stay connected. And now I feel like I'm like, hey, like future self is coming back into the picture here. Like, what are you fucking stupid? Like, don't ever do that. Just
Well, I don't think we could have ever imagined it would have taken over so much of our time. Like at that time, it felt like the people that had them were the ones that were getting let into the room, So I was like, oh, I want one of those cool keys. I want to be one of the VIPs that has one of the fancy devices. Little did I know that the fancy device was a ball and chain,
Yeah, just hidden with a screen and individual keys. Yeah, it was tough when I first, I had a BlackBerry, but I, was always nervous about just saying too much, or just using it for like personal reasons. So for most of my early corporate career, I wound up having two phones, and I'm like, wait a second, if there's any truth to, these phones causing cancer, which nobody really talks about anymore, flip phones are the safe ones because they have a flap to protect you from the radiation. But I was like, wait a second, each testicle, as these are in my pockets, are getting fried. Like, what the fuck? So it was like,
make sure you flip from pocket to pocket.
Yeah. So I used that, and then sometimes we get hot, and you're like, what's going on? So I remember telling my boss, like one of my early bosses, I was like, listen, can I just use one phone, just use it as my personal and work? And they're like, yeah, why wouldn't you? And I was like, I don't know, like I just don't want to be spied on corporately. And they're like, listen, if they get to a point where they're checking your phone and records and stuff, you're probably already fired anyway. So what do you got to lose? I was like, okay. I use that logic to say, all right, that's fine, I guess. So I saved the phone.
That's scary logic, but yeah, it probably holds water.
Yeah. But I mean, this whole idea of being just connected all the fucking time. And the worst part is, it's probably different when you're in the office and you see people more often. I feel like when you leave the office, you're like, I don't really want to interact with these people that much. And there's I have to say once I leave that I couldn't have said the last 8 to 9 hours. But when you have the remote job and everything like that, the expectation is to be available at the drop of a hat, no matter what. But the lines get blurred, like they're extremely blurry, especially if you have a team not a team, like company that's more national and, California-based time. They're like, oh yeah, well, I'm going to message you at 9:00, but you really, or it's 9:00 East Coast time, but it's 6:00 their time or whatever it might be. And that's a little dicey. And then, the shit about like sending an email on fucking last minute on a Friday or Saturday, or now I've noticed, I don't know if you've noticed this, Eric, but I've certainly noticed that a lot of people try to get their pre-week emails out on Sunday as if they have nothing else.
I hate it. I know.
Like, and they all just like, I'm like, why am I getting emails firing through fucking Sunday morning to Sunday afternoon? Like, get a life, you fucking losers. Like, get a life. Find literally anything else to do than send me fucking emails. Just have it all teed up. And plus, these are probably the same imbeciles that haven't realized that you could schedule emails to go out. So they could literally have that email go out at 8:00 in the morning. Just tee it up and do that. Don't fucking send it to me on a Sunday. You get 40 plus hours a week of my life. Don't fucking take any more of it from me.
Oh, I know. Well, I mean, that's kind of the funny thing about the technology advancing so much, right? Is it's like, it's cool. Like, I love having it in my pocket, being able to answer any question ever, about anything and knowing instantly the actual answer. Like, there's something really cool about that. But the coolness has also tethered me to being available. And it's funny. I was watching this show, Dark Winds. I don't know if you've ever seen it, but it's about like Native Americans and there's a guy from the show Longmire in it. Anyway, point being, it takes place in like the 70s, I think.
Okay.
And so just seeing people back then, like just driving places and just listening to the radio and just standing around waiting for stuff, like not looking at their phone. It was like, it really showed me how weird it is, like how quickly we've changed so much of how we work and interact and live. Like nowadays, everyone's on their phone the moment you have a free time, second. Like I'm playing a game, I'm listening to a song, I'm doing this, that, or the other thing. Whereas, for most of human existence, it was just like, oh, yep, you'll be next in line, go sit and just sit.
That has a cascading effect because that's what it ruins communication and things like that. And and also people don't know how to be bored, and it creates this incessant need to always be busy. And I'm guilty of it too. Like the minute I have some free time, I'm just scrolling through, and I don't really doom scroll as much as I like to think on like social media, but I'll just go check an article or Reddit or whatever it might be, and I'm just just kind of like reading. And I find that I trail off in conversation and my ability to pay attention because of that, which is horrible. But that's like the newer generations, like I'm saying, like my kids and everything that are growing up, they don't know anything other than that. We were the last generation where, oh, yeah, we're going out, street lights on. You know, your parents don't know if you're fucking alive or dead. And, you know, like they're like,
Yeah.
you're out in the wilderness, go find it. Not the wilderness, but like you're out in the suburbs or where the fuck you live. Like, go ride your bike and try not to die.
Yeah. Well, and you had like a whole day for them to figure out that. You know what I mean? Like they didn't start to get worried after like 5 minutes of you not responding. It was like you start to get worried after like 12 hours of you not responding, you know, because the whole thing was reset. And I mean, even the waiting experience in general, you know, it makes me think about how like a whole cliche when we were kids was how parents, you know, and they still do it in what is it, progressive ads, where they're like, oh, you're going to become your parents, and they all make like small talk with random people and that kind of stuff. And it's like, I remember
it's the humidity.
I remember my parents doing that, like making small talk with strangers, filling in like awkward silences and time and shooting the shit with people. And as awkward and insufferable as it felt at the time, being like a teenager or whatever, it was a skill. Like it's something that you had to kind of learn how to talk to people, how to like make them laugh and be entertaining and, you know, fill time. You don't have to do that.
Will you ever meet a person that comes from, I guess, one of these generations where like a lot of communication is done either through social media or through text messages, but when you meet the person, they can't really formulate sentences. You know, it's like, well, it exists in your brain, but it doesn't come out when you're speaking. It's all strictly through the written word, which is, it's weird to me. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you got to get it right before it comes out of your mouth. Like you can't just type it, you know, erase it and then say it, you know? And I feel like some of that thinking that takes place in your head, like they don't learn that skill.
Yeah. I mean,
it's just interesting.
Yeah, this whole idea of the fine line between personal and work, like at the end of the day, work, a corporate environment is structured where if it was up to them, you'd live, eat, and breathe work. Like that's all they want you to really focus on. You know, it's like, yeah, it's nice that you have a family and like a life and shit like that. But at the end of the day, like you're ours until we say we don't need you anymore. You know, it's a level of role that's necessary. And all of that stuff, like they try to incentivize you with like, oh, we'll give you a couple extra bucks for a new iPhone. And then you got to fucking install a million different security like authenticators, Microsoft Authenticator, and 12 other verifications, and drop your blood on it and agree to, you know, give up your warrant and stuff. And then you're like, wait, how come I don't have any room for pictures or anything on my phone? It's like, oh, because I got fucking 50,000 apps that I gotta use on it. And then they try to hit you up. It's like, oh, we'll give you a new MacBook. You could use that and blah, 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 blah. And it's like, oh yeah, this is nice. But at the end of the day, it's not mine. Like I'm not sitting there scrolling porn in high def, you know, I'm fucking using it for you know, it's not nothing exciting. But yeah, they just constantly just have this level of you know, their claws in you no matter what. And you just can't escape it. And the worst is this, you know, tiny little pocket computer that you're bringing around. And I don't know if you've experienced this, but you're out in a social situation and then you're like, oh, let me take a look at what time it is or whatever you might do. You look down at your phone, then all of a sudden you get a nice Outlook message or a text message from your boss or some shit. And it's like, what the fuck? It's a Saturday. Or like, oh, I guess I have to respond to this immediate email from a customer. And then you're just trapped. You trap and you look like a fucking putz in front of people that are trying to have a conversation with you. And you're like, sorry, I'm working, but I'm really not that important on this. You know, I'm not that important. I'm just answering emails because I'm fucking pathetic.
So I have a question on that. So one of the things that I think is interesting is that because it's there all the time and they have so many of these little like spy bugs on you all the time on your computer and on your phone, and everything blends personal computer versus work computer, personal phone, work phone. Like you always have to be kind of on. And then when it comes to like your personal life, it becomes like, okay, if you have a friend, for instance, who's looking for a job and you know that person is not like corporate approved, like that kind of corporate polished, like would you recommend them? Like even if they're a really good friend of yours, like I don't know about you, I probably wouldn't. It's fucked up.
Because it's a different tie, right? So if it's for your particular job, you're only going to recommend people, A, like maybe get incentivized to recommend them, so you want them to be a slam dunk, but B, also somebody that, because that's a reflection of you. It's like, oh, they recommended, and you know how every corporate environment is. It's like, oh, well, Greg or Eric recommended this person and they are fucking terrible. So obviously Greg and Eric are incompetent for associating themselves with this moron, you know? I don't know if I would. You know, my previous company went through a acquisition. There were a lot of people that wound up losing their jobs. It's an industry that's kind of in flux right now. So there's a lot of proud badges of open to work that exist out there, and lots of new, hey, let me become your friend. We have been LinkedIn friends in fucking a decade. But yeah, now
Mhm.
is the time. But everybody's desperate and everybody follows things differently. But a lot of those fuckers, I would never like. It's like, oh, remember when I used to ask you to help me out with things and you were a real fucking prick about it? Well, guess what?
Right.
How turned it? Like, what the fuck?
Karma's a bitch. Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean,
and
I just think it's
it's
funny.
not
It
that
makes
it's
you.
anything against them.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Yeah.
I was just going to say, I think it's funny how, you end up convincing yourself like, oh, I have this personal code that I think, and then there's this fake me that I put on for work. But then all of a sudden the fake you is making decisions about your personal life. Like, oh, I wouldn't recommend this person, or maybe I shouldn't go to this thing, or I don't want to post this thing because then it'll all get back to my work person. And then before you know it, you're like, well, how much of my time am I even spending being that person I supposedly really am? you know?
It's borrowed time. That's what it is. You're not really that person. Yeah, I actually that's a really good question. Would I? Yeah, I guess we ever notice like if you're doing a recommendation, you kind of write it in an ambiguous way that it's like, hey, HR, here's a candidate. But then you're also trying to distance yourself from the same. It's like, but keep in mind that they need the job, but I work here already. So, tread
Right.
lightly, make your own determination. I feel that they're qualified, but
Well,
what do you
and
do?
that goes to like sometimes I don't know if it's easier to recommend them for your team or if they're like something totally different, because like to your point, if it's something totally different, but it just happens to be at your company, in a way you can be like, I don't know if this person's actually good or not, but they need work, you need workers. Okay, you guys meet and see what happens. But
Yeah,
then, if it's somebody on your team, though, at least you can hope that you can have some influence. Like you can take them aside or kick them under the table and be like, stop being a fucking idiot. Like, whatever.
yeah.
You can like help them along. So hopefully it doesn't come to that. I don't know. It's weird.
But in the same, I wonder how it would be reciprocated if I was in that position. I don't ever want to be in that position, but I wonder if people would be like, yeah, okay. Or they'd be like, this guy, sometimes he gets pretty angry because of how shitty things are. Like it's like, if he's going to really drink the Kool-Aid, that we have going on here. But sometimes you could just say like, all right, my executive staff is a bunch of idiots and they act this way. This person was kind of a jerk, so they might really do well here. They seem to have the same kind of blended traits.
Yeah, I mean that's the other thing you fear though, right? Is like you don't want this person who may be a reflection of whoever you really are, the rated R version of you, whatever that is. And then they try to bring some of that to work and you're like, oh no, I don't think that. I wouldn't make a joke like that. I don't know what you're talking
That's
about.
wildly inappropriate. Wildly
Right.
inappropriate. Only the 48 hours I'm not in work would I ever say something like that.
Right. Funny.
It'd be great if you brought a friend or something in and they interview with like your boss and be like, oh, I heard a lot about you. You're the real fucking asshole that is ruining my friend's life.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly the fear, right? Like, and we all have those friends, right? That are like that. They're like, man, I love you as a person, but you are the fucking nightmare at work.
Yeah, yeah. And that's why I think we try to blend with like those folks in the real world. We're like, great, those are my have a good time, great
Yeah.
personality, love
Keep me
that. Like,
grounded.
yeah, that's the
Keep-
real version of me that I'm hanging out with. And then in the professional
Mhm.
world, I'm just like, I'm just gonna try my best to be the most polished version that I can be. Even though I will say that my care has been diminished a lot lately on how quote unquote professional I am. Like I wouldn't normally say fuck at work, but I do say it a lot now. Yep.
I saw this video the other day. That was this guy. You've probably seen him. He has like a mustache. He does a lot of like videos about millennial stuff where he sounds like he's explaining it to younger people. And it sounds really funny and context. But the video was him, somebody saying to him, well, hey, you going to go to the, after work happy hour mixer or whatever? And he's like, no. And he's like, why are you going? And the other person's like, well, I want to get some FaceTime with the executives. And then I want to, hopefully let them know like what projects I'm working on or whatever. And the other guy's like, yeah, you know who did that? Mary. You know what happened to Mary? They just laid her off. So she got the
Yeah,
promotion, then they laid her off.
yeah.
So you go ahead. I'm going to stay home.
Speaking of happy hours, and that's great because that kind of ties in too. Like, think about how that like we talk about this whole blending personal and work life. I, on a
Mhm.
personal level, love bars. I, on a personal level, love drinking and
Same.
feeling good. I don't like blending that with coworkers in an environment where I have to be professional and I can't say what I feel and do what I want.
Right.
So talk about really blending personal and work life. I'm not a big fan of the happy hours. And I don't like it when it's one of those like you don't have to attend, but it's in your best interest to attend. I can hate that shit. That Christmas dinner.
I mean, oh yeah, like I just think it's one of those things that I used to think like that person in that video that was like, oh, I get more FaceTime or whatever. But now I'm just at this point where I feel like it doesn't ever help you. Like if you were going to be helped by any of those things, you would have been helped during the day. Like at the end of the day, the only opportunity is for you to do something stupid that you then regret and fucks up your life.
Yeah.
So like, I just dread it. Yeah.
Yeah. It's just, but it's all tied to, it's like, okay, well, I just I sacrifice. I'm such a martyr. But like, it's like, I just gave you 8, 9 hours of my time, not including travel. Now I got to go pretend to fake through things I enjoy with people I don't enjoy. And then meanwhile, you're still getting messages from, like, you ever been at a fucking happy hour and you get an email from somebody that's in the fucking happy hour about something work related? I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, you couldn't have sent this when I was in the office with you, you fucking jerk. Like, what the hell is this?
Oh yeah. Or they spend the whole thing talking about work. I mean, and that's another one that like I used to not like, but if I have to go to those things now, half the time I almost like talking about work because I'm like, at least I can make this productive, I don't have to worry about saying something stupid. I don't have to worry about, us stumbling on some conversation topic that's not appropriate or whatever,
I will find a spot where I can sit comfortably in a corner, preferably, and wait for people to come up to me for conversation. I will not pursue conversation in those settings. Like I'll get a drink, I'll sit there, I'll nurse the hell out of it, and then I'll just find the right opportunity to fucking disappear, poof, smoke screen like a fucking ninja and leave. Don't want any part of that. Enough FaceTime with like, oh, the person was there.
You know what? There's no other way to leave than the Irish goodbye too. Like the people that actually bother to go and be like, goodbye, 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 goodbye. Like, you're the fucking Pope going through a crowd, like shaking everybody's hand and everything. Like, oh my God, no, just fucking get out of there.
No, I don't like any of those, even in social settings. I'm just like, you go around, you kiss somebody on the cheek, give them a hug, there's introductions. I'm like, I don't need this performance. Like,
exactly.
Or, and yeah, it's like trying to kiss the hand of the Pope. That's exactly right. Like, oh, hi, Mr. EO. Oh, so grateful that you allow me to come in here and be able to pay for things at home and my family can eat and have a roof over their head.
Right.
So great.
Get to be graced by your presence.
Yes, thank you. Do you mind? Can I get your feet? Are you okay with that? Can I
exactly.
for a few hours? Thank you. If you need a seat, it's okay. I'll get on all fours. You can just sit on my back. It's quite all right.
We'll carry you.
You need me to carry you to your black horse and take it home so it's safe? Please let me know.
Well, actually, I think that is the perfect segue to our favorite segment, Fuck 'em All Fridays. Because this week's Fuck 'em All Friday is fuck people, executives, managers, people that have some sort of influence on your life who just make it their prerogative to take over your personal time, like putting meetings during lunch, calling you after all hours, fucking, sometimes it's customers. Like I have customers that try to act like, we're friends or something. So then they'll ask like personal stuff when they're asking like work stuff. And I'm like, I don't know. I'm friendly, but I don't really want to be your friend because I have to work with you. It's like,
less you know about me, the better. So shut up.
Yeah. Like I need this line to separate those two people. And like the more somebody tries to blend it, the more I fucking hate that person.
Yeah, the blending is rough. It's brutal. Like, and especially, and you brought it up, this is a great point because yeah, fuck them. Like meetings on lunch hours, like what the fuck? Like just give it to me. Let me eat something. I can't tell you how many weeks go by where I'm like, oh, neat. I have a meeting at 12:30. That's totally normal. Like, yeah, that's fine. But not everybody follows that. Like I feel like it's on my calendar. But if I go into the office, I'm like, wait a second, you guys are all taking lunch? Well, what the fuck? How come my lunch hours have to be consumed, but you guys are over here fucking shoving down tuna salad sandwiches? Like, what the fuck?
100%. I mean, honestly, dude, I hear talk of these lunch hours, but I cannot remember the last time that I actually was just like, oh, it's noon. I'm going to stop working. And then at 1 p.m., I will resume working. Like that kind of clear delineation, that doesn't happen,
No. It's totally like you said, like we're so connected. We're so in here. And sometimes I think to myself, the only time they're probably throwing it on my calendar is because I don't actively block out my calendar for lunch. Some people do. I mean, God bless them. I don't. And that's probably just like, well, it looks like it's available, so I'll just shove it in there. And sometimes I just decline it. I'm just like, no. I've been trying to do a better job just making people mindful that I'm allowed to say no and I don't have to abide by, like, listen, obviously if it's somebody that has the power to fire me, I'd sing a different tune, but the average person, nah, fuck you. Like, fuck you, Friday at 4, no thanks. You could fucking kick rocks. No way.
Yeah. So fuck them. Fuck the person that books over your, lunch. Fuck the person trying to bother you during vacation. Oh my God. No. Like, I get to unplug. That is the one time I try to draw the line. If I'm taking 2 weeks off, you better fucking leave me alone. I don't care if the building burns down. I'll find out when I get back.
You take weeks off, there's 50 other weeks that they can figure it the fuck out. What I'm saying? Like, please.
That's it. Like, I need this. If you expect me to be there the other 50 weeks, you need to leave me alone. Boss. Shit. So fuck them.
Fuck them. Yeah, honestly, fuck them. That was a good one.
All right. Well, that was an excellent segment of Fuck 'em All Fridays, cathartic as normal. Now it's time for a new segment we call the coverage doc.
Because you only get 2 days a week that actually belong to you.
So if you're looking for something worth sending them on,
we've got you covered.
All right. Every week we review a movie, TV show, podcast, or whatever helped us escape work.
Everything gets 2 grades. A weekend grade, is it worth your undivided attention? And a weekday grade, is it good enough for you to throw on while you're half working and half doom scrolling?
Important questions. So for me, this week I watched the number 5 Netflix top 10 show, I Will Find You. I gave it a weekday grade of B and a weekend grade of D-. Maybe not worth your undivided attention, but good for divided attention.
Just above failing. And I had the pleasure of watching He-Man Masters of the Universe, now streaming on Amazon Prime. Weekday grade of B and a weekend grade of a B+.
And last but not least, I watched one of what has become a series of excellent Netflix documentaries. This one is called Toxic Love Story. I gave it a weekday grade of B+, weekend grade of B-.
Nice. Today we're just giving you the headlines. If you want the full reviews, check out this week's Coverage Doc bonus episode.
Thank you everyone for listening. Please give us a like, follow, or subscribe on Spotify, Apple, Substack, or wherever you get your podcasts. We'd love to hear from you, hear what you're reading, hear how you're dealing with the burnout and the office bullshit, or if you're interested in being on the show, please give us a shout at aspermylastpodcast@gmail.com, and then take a look at our Substack and our new comic strip, The Supply Closet. We look forward to listening on a future episode. Thanks all.
Thanks all.
As per my last podcast with your host, Greg and Eric.
That was a good one. That was good. It felt good.
Yeah, that was satisfying.